Baby, Crazy on Heart.
And this is another one of the large American bands that have come up here to be a part of the parade. They're just at the south end of Lake Washington. Of course, linked to Seattle by a floating bridge.
That is a huge group. That is a massive band.
You know, you talked about, organization and getting people, to the bottom of their gear and their instruments, because they've got them all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second annual Spring for School Showcase.
while we all wish we were settling into the gym, high school gym, for breakfast right now, and all together, we're hoping that this is our last year for a virtual event. We are celebrating big this year, and because not only are we celebrating and supporting our schools, which is so important, but we're also celebrating 40 years of giving. I'm so happy to join you for the second year. My name is Cliff Sharples. I was a past president and board member of the Mercer Island School Foundation, and also served as PTA president for Lake Ridge. And I have 5 children that three have gone through the district, 2 are 8th graders at IMS, so really familiar. But I'm most excited tonight to be joined by my co-host, Hillary Benson. Welcome.
Thank you, Cliff. I am very honored to be here. You're sharing the stage with me, so I feel very lucky. And I feel a little bit like an underachiever because I only have 3 children.
Well,
Is that a very Mercer Island thing
It's a
to
bit of
say?
a slacker, but it's okay.
It is, yeah. So, no, I'm happy. I have 3 kids, 2 of whom have gone through the district, are doing great. One who's at the high school. We were also a Lake Ridge family, but we will talk a lot about the other schools as well. And as you said, it's just an amazing district. That's why I'm happy to be here. And fundraising tonight. That's what we're going to do is
raising money.
Absolutely, because there's just so much amazing stuff going on. We'll talk about the professional development, the curriculums, all the different things that we're going to be able to celebrate.
Yeah.
And it has been 40 years. And in fact, because this is the 40th year, at 4 decades of giving, it's something we'll get to hear that people haven't heard before. The 2 founders who actually are going to tell their origin story. So we're super excited to hear that. And over the past 40 years, if anyone's kind of keeping track, this foundation has raised more than $20 million.
That's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing.
It's a ton. And it's obviously teacher grants, really innovative stuff, the professional development, and all the different kinds of things that our kids wouldn't have had access to if it wasn't for everybody's support. And so that's why we're going to ask for it tonight. Our specific theme, and every year you've got to have a different theme, is building tomorrow's future. And we know that a high-quality education is exactly that. It's a bridge to the future, helping each of our students prepare for success as they become critical thinkers, compassionate citizens, which is also important, and really the leaders of tomorrow. And we all need really excellent leaders.
We certainly do. Well, we're going to kick off this evening with those future leaders, the people that we're investing in, which are students. They're the heart of everything the foundation does, and it's the reason we're all here tonight. And we've asked, as part of the show, we've asked students from all ages to share something they love about our schools or might want to pursue when they leave our schools. So enjoy this next video. Let's hear what they have to say.
Well, the most interesting thing that I've learned in school so far is about elephants. And one thing that I've learned is that they swim every day.
My favorite part of high school is the spirit around the school. Every Friday we dress up in maroon and white, and we also have spirit weeks where everyone dresses up and it's just a great time.
I like writing about Hawaii, especially about the turtles. My favorite thing is science because I learned about otters, and otters are mammals.
The thing I like to do the most at the high school is attend all the different clubs that they offer. Looking down the road, the fields I'm interested in are business, and which is from taking a lot of business classes at Mercer Island High School.
So I like math because it's challenging.
Do you want to go first? Or?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in going into something with business, and I feel like the classes here at the high school have really prepared me for that and gotten me super interested in it.
My favorite class in Mercer Island is yearbook, and I love the inclusivity and everyone being able to participate in that class.
I like to eat because the cafeteria is surprisingly good. For instance, the other day they had 2 really good entrees, and unfortunately I ran out of money, but I'd really like to get both of them, and a lot of people at other schools won't really have that opportunity to enjoy such good food.
Well, I really like recess because you get to play with friends and you get to be outside. I like Steel Gym because you get to play with your friends and have a snack, and it's really yummy, and yeah.
We do a ton of reading comprehension in 5th grade. And right now we're reading Knots in My Yo-Yo String by Jerry Spinelli. It's his personal narrative. And we're also doing a writing unit on personal narratives. So there's a ton of overlap between the subjects.
My favorite thing to do in the high school is probably broadcast on the radio station, 88.9 The Bridge. It's just an amazing experience, and we get to do so many different things and explore our passions in so many different ways, all through one medium, which is radio.
Down the road, I want to go into education. I do a lot of that now in high school with leadership and serving on the school board, but I really think education is my calling.
I like to read books.
Why is that?
Because because it has paper.
I'd say my favorite thing to do at the school is probably play lacrosse. We both play, and we've been playing together our whole lives. And it's great to have the whole school there, people you know your whole life cheering you on. That's by far my favorite thing about this school and this high school in general.
And when I'm older, I just want to write about sports. It's always fun to watch and just, yeah, pretty much just lacrosse, sports, whatever it is.
I like to do fractions in math because math is my favorite subject, and I like to learn how to do something new and that I don't understand yet.
Next year, ideally, I want to get into the field of psychology or in media broadcasting.
I like to play with friends, and I like to chase them, and I like to run around with them.
My favorite thing to do in school is definitely class discussions because we all get our own opinions, and it definitely opens up the floor for some funny conversations.
iPads, Osmo, because I don't know.
My favorite part about the high school is all the different sports, especially for me, Girls Swive. It really helped me find the love for the sport again, and they all foster a super inclusive environment.
I want to be a breeder so I can make a lot of cats. I want to be a breeder like him, but bunnies.
I really like the art system in the school because there's lots of different choices and it's always really, really fun.
My favorite thing to do at school would probably be playing the trombone. I have a lot of fun doing that, and the band teachers are really great.
My favorite thing to do at Mercer Island High School is go to all the sports games and cheer on all my friends and teammates and support Mercer Island.
Something special I love about MI is the special spirit here. I think it's one of a kind, and it's very extraordinary, and it's definitely no other school has this.
That was so great to see our students. We love hearing from them. They truly are the heart of the foundation and all the work that we do. Hi, I'm Tammy Shoup, and I am the Executive Director of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation. And I am here tonight with Tima Berkey, our Board of Trustees President. We welcome you to the second annual Spring for Schools Showcase and Auction. We are so excited to be here tonight to welcome you, but we do hope that next year we are able to welcome you in person. We have a wonderful program for you tonight. We are going to showcase where your dollars are going. They are making a huge impact in our schools and a big difference in our students' education. Our goal this spring is quite lofty. We will be raising $800,000 with your help, and we do need your help. We have some critical needs that we will be raising money for this spring. We will be helping with academic and student wellness, as well as temporary staffing positions for our district. We will also be raising money for everything we normally do, which is wonderful teacher innovation grants, enrichment programs within our schools, professional development for our teachers, and fine arts, world-class curriculum, and the list goes on. Thank you to the Mercer Island Schools Foundation Board of Trustees and Tima Berkey here with me. Our event would not be possible without their hard work and dedication, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. On behalf of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to welcome you, my friends and neighbors, here tonight. It has been an honor to serve on the Board of Trustees for the last 7 years. This event represents the very best of Mercer Island. When a community supports its schools, it is intrinsically united in promoting academic excellence, social emotional learning and development, and promoting healthy minds and bodies. I can't think of a better investment with a greater return. Thank you so much for your participation tonight, and have a great evening.
All right, that was amazing. Wasn't that great to hear from all the students?
Love those cute little ones. I forget how
know.
cute they are when they're that little.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
big shout out to Tammy Shoup
Tammy and
Tima
Tima,
Berkey,
yeah.
the whole, everybody at the foundation. They work so hard. And another group that's super important to the foundation's mission is our angel donors. We have this, so if anybody out there doesn't know, we have these angel donors that give $5,000 or more to the spring campaign, which creates our angel fund. These are generous angels. They're the backbone of the community, and they recognize the importance of a consistent investment in maintaining Mercer Island School District's excellence. And this fund matches every gift of $1,000 or more, every single one. And the fund is $135,000 this year. So it's awesome. It's the reason why right now you can go to MISF.com, or you're going to see this QR code. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. I think it's above my head.
It's above you. Yep.
Yes. And you can just scan your phone in. You can give. It's so easy. Right now, go to your phone. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that in that video, Tammy pointed out that this year, on top of everything else that's amazing that we're raising money for, it's actually staffing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think all of us parents kind of know that that's a super important thing. Top of mind always is, who's in our classroom and that kind of thing. So
Totally.
another reason to write the check, go to the QR code or whatever tonight. So
Absolutely.
Another person we need to talk about here is Superintendent Donna Kolaski, who has led the district admirably over these last 2+ years, which I kind of compared, it's got to be like dog years, where it's like 2 years, but it's actually been about 15 probably
Totally.
for her. So she's led the district with empathy, she's led with understanding, and a focus on educating the whole child, and that includes mental well-being. So this is the last year that Donna's going to be taking part in the Foundation Showcase and Auction because of her retirement that's coming up on July 31st. So thank you, Donna, for your leadership, for your friendship, and also we just have to tell you that during this time we've been incredibly grateful for you.
Yes.
Welcome to the Spring for Schools Showcase and Auction. As I reflect on my time over the past 5 years as your superintendent and lead learner, I am proud of the work we have accomplished in support of the children of Mercer Island. With students as the priority, the board and our community has prioritized educating the whole child, including their social, emotional, physical, and mental well-being, focusing on rigorous and challenging learning, inclusive and equitable learning settings, and safe and supportive schools. Working alongside board directors, staff, parents, and community members as we have navigated the pandemic has been inspiring. Your dedication to public education and embracing students as the priority while dealing with the stress of the last 2 years has never ceased to amaze me and will be a lifelong point of pride for all of us. Coming together during the pandemic as a compassionate community during these past 2 years, our students have frequently led the way. Elevating student voice has been a centerpiece of my work over the past 5 years. As educators, we must listen to what our students are telling us. We are guiding them and coaching them as they stretch their minds and become critical and creative thinkers. I am so very proud of our Mercer Island School District vision, inspiring our students to be lifelong learners as they create their future. Students are the heart of our schools, and they need us to listen to their voices as they will lead the way. I strive to embrace learning and growing, and in the words of Maya Angelou, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. As educators, we must continue to be the lifelong learners and stretch our thinking. Ongoing opportunities for teachers and staff to learn, grow, and do better as educators has been essential to the goal of having great teaching and learning in every classroom, because every student deserves that. Learning science continues to evolve and provide us with the evidence of how best individual students learn and what instructional strategies and curriculum help all of our students bloom. Our Mercer Island students are incredible learners who will become amazing leaders and thinkers thanks to our educators who continue to learn and grow. The Mercer Island Schools Foundation support of professional development has made this ongoing learning possible for our educators. The Foundation is such an important member of our community. Thank you for your support of the Foundation and your support of Mercer Island students who are building tomorrow's future.
Oh, we're really going to miss Donna. She's wonderful. I had an opportunity a few years back to spend a week traveling to Pasadena, California to be a chaperone with Donna for the Mercer Island High School band's trip to the Tournament of Roses. And, you know, with that massive job of running and leading our district, 4,400 students, I don't know, like 500 teachers and staff, a huge budget, working with the school board, dealing with us crazy parents. It's a huge job, and she took the time to be with our students through essentially no sleep for 6 days. It was kind of grueling. And, you know, so Donna, on behalf of the entire island, we cannot thank you enough for getting us through the pandemic and everything else you've done for us for all of your time here on Mercer Island.
Yeah, no, actually, big appreciation. It's been a rough couple of years. I think we all know it.
Yeah.
Look where we are, Cliff. I think, if I'm recognizing this, looks like Island Park.
I think we're at Island Park.
Eagles.
Here we go.
Yay.
Yeah.
So we want to give a shout out, of course, to David Hoffman, principal for 8 years, who's going to be also retiring at the end of this year. So thank you, David, for your many years of service, and we also wish you the very best in retirement.
Totally. Yeah, and, you know, if one of the big Island Park traditions, as it is with other schools, is the big musical that's coming up May 31st.
Nothing but the blues.
There you go. So head on over to Island Park to enjoy that performance. And it's a great time to see our fifth graders for their last time.
I love the fifth grade musical.
I know,
oh
right?
Oh my gosh, it's so great to have that back,
Totally.
isn't it? I mean, just everyone in costume, and it's an enormous production. So thank you to the volunteers who also work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of people who help make things happen, we're going to do a shout out now to our Spring for Schools sponsors who've helped make this event possible. The people and the companies are leaders in our community, and we thank them for their support in helping build our schools. They are definitely helping build tomorrow's future through their commitment by providing our students the very best education. Right. So let us start right now. Overlake Medical Center and Clinics, and I should know this because I used to work there, I should say the name right, was actually the first level 3 trauma center on the east side, and is definitely known for providing award-winning, compassionate, patient-centered care. And the commitment to maintaining the highest standards in medical care is a big reason why patients and their families choose Overlake. I know I had one of my kids there, took one to the emergency room. It's also the reason why they have received many awards nationally in recognition for excellence and high quality. So thank you, Overlake, for your sponsoring.
We'd also like to thank the Mary E. Groff Charitable Trust. The Mary E. Groff Charitable Trust, say that 10 times, is proud to support the Mercer Island School District, its teachers, students, and administration through its sponsorship of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation. The trust is committed to serve the nonprofit sector by funding and various educational efforts. So we thank them so much.
Yep. Well, since 2005, Gallagher Co., there you're seeing it there, has built the finest customs homes on Mercer Island and in neighboring communities. Whether it's a luxury waterfront home or a kitchen or bathroom remodel, the same level of professionalism and expertise is guaranteed to every client. And that's the Gallagher Co. commitment. So thank you to you for your $5,000 contribution. That's huge, and we need every bit. So thank you so much, you guys.
Absolutely. We'd also like to thank the Greg Rosenwald Real Estate of Mercer Island. Greg Rosenwald is a native born and raised on the island and educated just across the lake at the University of Washington, and donated a great gift of $5,000. He's trusted among his fellow real estate professionals and clients for his honest and respectful approach to negotiations. Give him a call if you're buying or selling. I hear the market's pretty hot. Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate it.
There's a rumor about that going
on,
isn't there? Well, so we also want to give a shout out to our medalists, our teammates, and our friends. So medalists are the $2,500 level. And don't forget, folks, it's not too late. You can join in at all these different levels, and please do. Because there's no deadline. I mean, we're obviously hoping to make this amount tonight. We have big goals for tonight, and we're going to kind of keep talking about that. But in the meantime, these are the folks who've already committed, so thank you. The medalists are KK Construction, Orthodontist Associates of Mercer Island, the Kelly Weisfield Group, thanks Kelly, and teammates at $1,500. The Boutique Lounge, for sure check them out at the South End. The Fauser Group, Venture General Contracting. And then friends at the $500 level are True Fusion Bellevue, Carrie York, Robin and Rachel Group, Minutemen Press in Kirkland, and Kitchen and Market, who maybe some of you are having dinner with them right now, and Tarabella. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, everyone, actually, for your agreeing to be a sponsor, because that's what kind of kicks things off, and you know, it's all about momentum, and that's what we're doing, is building momentum and hopefully capitalizing on
Absolutely.
that tonight. So.
Yeah. We also want to thank a few people who have made the Spring Schools Showcase happen. The Foundation Board of Directors, thank you for your commitment, time, and generosity in supporting our schools, and especially for the leadership of our dedicated president this year, Tima Berkey. Thank you.
Yeah, and the Springs for Schools Auction Committee, hopefully you guys are checking it out. There are amazing items, and they've done a ton of hard work and planning to make that happen. And also above, when we come back to the other screen, is on that link that's above Cliff's head. So our auction co-chairs are Sherry Blumenthal and Ruby Azim. And our sponsorship committee, thank you to this group who brought in more sponsor partnerships than ever before. Our sponsorship chair, Jill Ashton, who rocked it, and of course all her committee members.
We'd also like to thank the Stokes Auction Group for your expertise and talent in producing the show, and I wish you could all be at the studio with us because it is so fun. Tim Hamp, owner of TVH Key Productions, for the fantastic videos you're going to see in the next hour. Brooke Hamilton for Hamilton Creative Group for the wonderful creative direction for our second annual Spring for Schools Showcase and Auction event. Tammy Hayden, your invaluable community volunteer and Greater Giving Advisor. Your name's on everything. Thank you, thank you. Betsy O'Connell, community volunteer and Greater Giving Advisor. Thank you as well. Okay, it's time to move on with the show. Are we ready?
We are ready. There's
all
a
right.
lot to talk about, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and weren't we just in the Seattle Times? What was that all about?
No, that's pretty cool to see. I remember coming down, I get my morning coffee on Sunday, right? And they're right on the front page.
Nice.
Was this unbelievable story. So if people haven't seen it, they should go Google it. With Nova Williams, our Assistant Director of Learning Services, who was featured for just one little teeny bit of the amazing work being done. And you can talk about the crux of the article.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the incredible work of reading and literacy, and we're going to hear a little bit more about programs that your dollars that you're donating right now as we speak. You're not even listening to me because you're currently scanning that code above my head and you're donating money.
Yeah.
But it all goes to these really important, amazing programs.
Right. And the article was on one called Letters, which is Language Essentials for Teachers of Reading and Spelling. And with your foundation or support, the foundation's been able to help support this. So thank you for that. And the district has a commitment to individualized learning. And that's something, part of the way that's accomplished is by helping support teachers as they identify students that might have areas of weakness. And just an example might be perhaps an indicator of dyslexia. So before we talk more about it, we really want to show you what goes on behind the scenes in the classroom where this amazing work is being done.
Letters is an approach to teaching literacy to young learners that has focused on the research that we have learned in the last maybe 15 or 20 years about how students best learn to read with brain development and an approach that's scientific to help students become more proficient and independent.
It's teaching them the differences between sounds and how they connect to letters on a page and then how they connect to reading altogether. It's really fascinating what we've learned through the district this year. I've been amazed at just all the techniques that come with the training that we've gotten, and trying out new things and seeing that it works has really been exciting.
You were combining multiple ideas about the reading rope. And
my passion around this work in particular, I think, stemmed from when I was a child and I grew up in whole language, which is incidental learning of phonics. And I think that was a challenge for me growing up, but I loved reading. And even now that my focus is in elementary, I think that this passion was reinvigorated as teachers were working to adopt our program and to move into this training. So it's really become a passion area for me that I have spent the last 8 years developing. So the first 4 units of letters are really all about the foundational skills. So phonemic awareness, phonological awareness, assessing for those particular things, all of those sort of discrete skills associated with the development of a reader. So what we're trying to do is help support teachers in identifying really early whatever deficits there are for a student so that they can help intervene appropriately. And that way our students don't have those gaps growing and growing over time. Today we had our 5th grade cohort with us, and so 5th grade's content is what we call units 5 through 8, which is really about reading comprehension, vocabulary, fluency, and writing. And that was the intent of today's target.
I am using the strategies that we've learned through letters in a lot of different ways in the classroom, starting with sounds in the beginning of even kindergarten, listening to the sounds and hearing them in words, not just connecting them to a letter. as well as in our literacy centers. We have tons of fun activities that the district has provided us. One of them, for example, is Tap It, Map It, Zap It, and the kids love it. They tap the sounds that they hear, even though it's not connected to a letter, and then they zap it away with a magnet. They really love that, and it sets them on fire for learning to read, so it's one of my favorites.
What's the setting? What does setting mean again? Who knows?
Place.
This program helps us identify student weaknesses and areas that are of challenge because it provides a systematic approach to identify what kids already know and then to provide the scaffolding support to meet them where they are and help them grow on that road to becoming a conventional reader.
With some of the things that we're trying to engage our staff with, our staff has done a really nice job of helping support students in the progress. So if I think about kindergarten, we don't typically evaluate students for dyslexia formally through a psychologist, but our teachers are starting to become very adept at flagging students for those things. Last year we had a student who was flagging for those things. The teacher was meeting with me and other people trying to support the student in growth, and he was not making progress. So we actually forced the issue and had the evaluation happen so that he could receive additional supports on top of that. So I think that was a big success. The other part of it, I think, is parents want to know what can we do and where can we find out more. So we have a whole website built, and the idea is around dyslexia, but certainly any student who's experiencing reading challenges, or even those who aren't, could still access that site to learn more about what we're doing, learn about resources to help support your child, and what to do when you're reading at home with your child.
Now that I've learned so much, I feel like I'm better able to even serve all students. I believe students really understand what they're learning, and they aren't just going through the motions of learning how to read. And I think it's so amazing to watch them make connections on like a daily basis. I love it.
I'm invested in this because in the 26 years I've been teaching, this is one of the first times that I've really had a better understanding of the science behind how children learn to read. It's exciting to see the growth that these kids are making as opposed to 10 or 15 years ago, before I had the knowledge and real experience with how the brain works and how children actually learn to read. To see their independence, to see them feel empowered and confident is really heartwarming and just reaffirms that this is an approach that is really effective for the majority of our students.
All right, here we go. Help me.
Good job.
Perfect.
It's excellent.
That was great. And kind of funny that the last word was jog, because I think we're ready to run.
I know.
Where are we? Where are we right now?
I love this track.
There you
We
go.
spent a lot of time. I think my kids learned to ride their bikes on this track.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's not probably like actually good to say because we're probably not supposed to. But
Probably not.
And
But
one thing I want to mention, folks, I love that we're getting active chat, light up the chat. And I just actually happened to notice, I love that Dr. Fred Rundle is chiming in on chat.
Yep.
He's kind of like our fact checker. So if we misspeak, he's going to be correcting us, which is all good. Fred, please do.
Yeah,
He
and
hasn't
maybe
corrected
like
us, but
if
thank
you
you
if
for
you
chiming
donate
in.
enough and post it in the chat, maybe he'll you can get a favor out of him or something. It's hard to know.
Exactly, I know, right? Or forbid.
Totally.
super
Well, we are
exciting.
here at Islander Middle School, and a big hello to amazing principals, Mary Jo Butkus and Aaron Miller. You guys are amazing.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Great team for so many years. They're fabulous.
Amazing. So if you haven't given for Springs for School, if you haven't done your gift now, now's the time.
Yep.
Look for the little thing over my head. Don't forget to check with your company to see if they match. A lot of companies do, so we have a corporate matching program. It's a great way to double your donation. And there's lots of other ways to give as well. So go online to misf.com/donate or scan the QR code on screen. Send a check, donate stock. It doesn't matter what the amount is. Honestly, like I think one of the things that the board of the foundation always says is it's more about they get more excited about participation and getting more people to participate around the community. But of course, if you want to give a lead gift as well, we wouldn't turn it down.
No, absolutely. And it's so important, you guys. We do have a big goal this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have we talked about it? $800,000?
I don't think we put the number out there.
Okay, I'm just going to say it now. I'm totally blasting the headline.
Yeah, it's a big number.
$800,000 is our goal. Part of the way that we're hoping to get there is the auction. Can I talk about that now?
The auction.
Because they're amazing. There are Seahawks tickets,
Yep.
the Sunset Cruise around Lake Washington, and I'll tell you, there's some nasty bidding going on right now.
Yeah,
Those
there are.
people who know who I'm talking about right
Yep.
now. So I'm not going to name names, but that's a big one. Huskies tickets, cooking classes.
Yeah, you can install.
And can I just say a couple fun things I think you could think about pairing? You could do the workout, and then also get like the cake. They kind of go together. I think the cake might have sold out already.
Yeah.
But maybe the Johnston Wilkie, like essay writing, and then the wine, because those two kind of go
Yeah,
together.
because if you're in that mode and you need that service, you need wine.
I know,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So check out the auction, also above Cliff's Head,
Yes.
and bid on that. That's going to be open until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. But don't forget, keep watching us, please.
Yes.
But if you're going to multitask, then also
it's
bid on
amazing.
those auction items.
Yes, and even better than us, I'm really excited about a format change for year 2. We are going to introduce some special student hosts with us tonight, live here in studio. The KMIH, the Bridge radio students, Andrew Housen and Sophie Prock, are here with us live in studio, and they're going to be providing us with a show called Showcase on the Bridge, a show within a show, if you will. They have lots of interesting foundation updates to share and a fun trivia game with prizes for winners in the chat. We're going to be so excited for them to join us. But before they do, we're going to hear from generous foundation donor and Mercer Island School Foundation board member Jeff Miller and his family on why they support the work of the foundation.
I'm very passionate about the Mercer Island schools. I went to Mercer Island public schools starting in the 80s and 90s at Island Park Elementary, the middle school, and the high school. And at the time, I knew that the schools were really good. I didn't really know what that meant, and I certainly didn't have the full understanding of what the Schools Foundation does for our schools. And it became a lot more clear to me when I moved back to the island and had my own children, and then eventually joined the board of the Schools Foundation. I finally figured out what they actually did, and they do a lot. We have a 40-year history of raising money for the Mercer Island schools, starting with the initial year raising about $4,000, all the way up till last year we raised over $829,000 for the school district. And there's some specific things that we do that are very important to our family, and that's why we spend our time and money with the Mercer Island Schools Foundation.
Yes. I think it's especially important to point out why it's important to our family in particular. The Schools Foundation's funded many wonderful programs, some of which Charlie and Reese have benefited from directly. One in which is the PALS program, and that was an especially important program post-pandemic because it supported all the kids' social and emotional needs. And I know Charlie and Reese have both participated in that and have absolutely loved it.
Remember to smile. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say that. Thank you so much, Cliff and Hillary, for that warm welcome. I'm Andrew Housen, Program Director at KMIH 889 The Bridge.
And I'm Sophie Prock, the General Manager of 889 The Bridge. We are so very excited to be here. At Mercer Island High School, we run our radio station with the help of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation. At our school, we broadcast plenty of sports games, plan spirit events such as Week of Unity, and just have a good time creating friendships, both on air and off air. Every Tuesday, we also put on our morning show, Breakfast on the Bridge, at 7 a.m. So this is our show within a show. Don't forget to tune in bright and early this Tuesday.
Throughout the fundraiser, we're going to ask 3 different questions, and the first person to answer the questions in the chat will win a prize. Our first question is, when did Mercer Island Junior High change its name to Islander Middle School? You need to submit an answer using the chat function on your device.
And we will now be announcing this year's Penny Yantis Scholarship recipient. Penny Yantis is the founding director of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation and served as the executive director for 26 years before retiring in 2019. Penny's dedication to the mission of the foundation was unwavering, and we thank you so much for that. When Penny retired in 2019, the senior scholarship was renamed to be the Penny Yantis Scholarship.
Next up, we get to hear from a KMIH staff member, Dan Sanholm.
His Beatles music show is a great addition to our airwaves here at KMIH.
Dan and the Beatles spread a positive message to all of his listeners.
We are so very proud of you, Dan, and you are so incredibly well deserving of this scholarship.
My name is Dan Sunholm, and I completed my senior year of high school in 2019, and I'm currently in the Pathways program. When I think about the Mercer Island Schools Foundation and how it has helped me, I think about KMIH The Bridge. MISF has supported the radio station with a grant for the free microphone studio. I use the studios to make my Beatles radio show that plays on Saturday mornings. I have participated in the radio program since my freshman year. Being a part of the radio classes helped me learn how to program music on KMIH and how to plan my show. It has taught me how to speak clearly and think about what to say. MISF also paid for the speakers on the hallways so everyone at school can hear our great radio station. Lately, I've been saying Peace for Ukraine during my show. I play songs like Give Peace a Chance and All You Need Is Love, because the Beatles music is all about peace, love, and freedom. One day I would like to work in the music technology field. Next year, I will attend a program at Bellevue College that will help me continue to work towards my goal. And thanks, Mercer Island Schools Foundation, for your support for students like me.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yep,
The district is for everybody.
It is.
All right, and you know, some of the people who work really hard to make sure that happens are our school board members. And I've got good news that just in this past few minutes, we've gotten a huge donation, an angel level $5,000 donation from our school board president, Maggie Ty Tucker.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. It means
Maggie.
that Cliff and I feel like we're okay being here a little teeny bit because we love to see the donations and we're shameless beggars. So
Well,
come on.
and they're paying us a lot to be here, so we're going to need
huge.
more of those $5,000 donations, I think.
Yeah, no, very exciting. Thank you guys. Please keep it coming. Please keep the chat going. It's awesome to see the energy. So another new thing, besides having great students helping with the hosting tonight, is we're going to beam in a special guest. And it's none other than our newly named Superintendent, Dr. Fred Rundle, who a lot of us are so comfortable that we just call him Fred. So, hey, Fred. So really excited that we're going to get some live time and some Q&A time.
Yes. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday evening. We really appreciate it. Fred, we've known each other a long time. I was back in Lake Ridge when you first came to Mercer Island. And I think we've known each other long enough for me to say that, you have a lot to say. Honestly, you can be long-winded. So if we could try to keep this under an hour, just kidding, more like 4 to 5 minutes so people can get on with their evenings, we would really appreciate it. But welcome, welcome.
I'll do my best.
All right.
When I'm talking about, when I'm talking in education and whatnot, I do get a little long-winded, but I'll keep it short, keep everyone's attention span there. But it's great to be here tonight. Thanks for having me.
We're excited. Okay, so here we go. We have a couple questions for you.
Right.
So Hillary and I have both known you for a long time, since you first moved from Colorado to become Lake Ridge Elementary's principal. And, one of the things I'm wondering is, you've been here 13 years. What's been one of the most surprising aspects of your 13-year journey here?
Okay, quick story, but I'll keep it to 4 to 5 minutes. I promise there. I have been here for 13 years, and Hillary was probably the first parent I met. She toured me around when I was interviewing for the Lake Ridge position. Yeah. She was my tour guide that took me down and then drove me back to the district office. Great driver.
Good thing I didn't crash, right? Oh my gosh,
exactly. Yeah. We were at Highland Crest Way. I had no idea where we were at the time, but and then Cliff, obviously, we had time on the PTA,
we did.
Your time as PTA president. So what's been surprising? You know what? The fact that I am still here 13 years later is probably the most surprising thing. And I say that because I didn't have intentions of coming to the district and really, putting down these kinds of roots. I had taught in California in a school district, and Dana and I got married and we moved to Colorado where my family was, and within 8 years in that school district that I was in 3 different schools. I didn't do the same job more than 3 years, and that was when I was a principal for 3 years. But anyway, that wasn't my career trajectory. It wasn't to come to Mercer Island and stay here for this amount of time. But I've been here, and it's because of the people. And I am grateful for the opportunity to move from my current role to superintendent, mostly because it keeps me here. And it's no longer surprising, but I think if I look back 13 years ago, I would have been shocked if someone said that you're going to be here 13 years and then sign up to be the superintendent.
Well, we are so glad you did. And I know that, I remember when you made the transition from principal at Lake Ridge to the administration, and you were lamenting a little bit that you were going to be less close to students because you've been a teacher, you were a principal for a long time, and now you've been really in administration for the majority of your tenure. And so, I'm wondering, do you miss that close interaction with students?
I do, and I've got to work really hard at it to make sure that I stay engaged and in with students. I'll tell you what, this year's seniors, as they walked across the stage, they were the kindergarten class when I arrived at Lake Ridge.
Wow.
So I can still walk across, the hallways and in the lunchroom up at the high school, and the kids know me, Mr. Rondo, and I know them, but when I'm in the middle school and I'm in the elementaries, I don't have that same connection.
Right.
My classroom is really the schools now, and it's the staff and families, but I've got to work really hard at continuing to maintain those partnerships with students. I was out coaching this afternoon. My son's team, he plays for a Sammamish team.
Yeah.
We're actually playing an Islanders team, and there are some of the younger siblings of those kids. The Islanders took it to us today, by the way. They whipped us.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, not sorry.
Out there, but I certainly enjoy those connections with students, and
That's
I
great.
miss it terribly from when I was in the classroom, but I still am around it, and that's what's important, and I'll continue to be invested in these students.
That's great.
So before you make me cry, because that's actually really a tearjerker when you talk about the kindergartners, when you came in, are now graduating. Cliff and I don't feel like we've aged, so I don't know how that's happened.
Yeah.
But I'm going to totally change gears because that's pretty powerful stuff. Let's talk about actual investments because we're here to raise money, right? And curious, Fred, because obviously the foundation helps with some of the bigger investments. So kind of curious to get your thoughts on like one or more, but maybe one of the biggest investments that the foundation's going to help you with this next year.
The foundation's contributions as they impact programming, what we always have to remember is that we braid funds all the time. We're bringing in funds from the federal government, state government, local levies, you name it. And when we can invest in using levy dollars into programs, it allows us to invest in people with other dollars. And so every dollar that's going in helps. We also know that we weren't beneficiaries as a school district like others were of some of the relief funds coming out of COVID from state and federal funding. And so, this will hopefully help us continue to provide intervention and add back a couple of the classes or sections that we may have lost. But one of the biggest things tonight that we're really excited about, you heard about letters earlier on. We're looking at a brand new literacy adoption for our elementaries and a brand new math adoption for our elementaries. We're looking at over the next 2 years putting in a really significant investment, several $100,000 into these, but it's because we're ready to elevate. We're adding in that training with letters, and we're doing the professional learning, and we want to meet the needs of our students, and we realize our current adoptions aren't going to allow us to do it the way. So a big bulk of tonight's donations and this fundraising campaign is going to go right back into those curriculum adoptions, and we're very excited about it.
That's awesome. That's great. Another, one more question, and we're going to let you get on with your evening.
Sure. You just want me to kind of,
exactly. We got some fun stuff planned later.
He's going to get me hooked in too.
No.
And I have the Island Park. I have Island Park here too. They're right down here at the bottom.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Excellent. So it's been quite a couple years that we've all been through. We've all been through a lot. And you can think about all the kind of crazy stuff that's happening in the world and the pandemic and everything else. But I know that you're one of the most positive people that I've ever met. And so my question to you is, what gives you hope about the future, given kind of the toll of the pandemic and all the collective challenges that we all have to face every day?
It has been exhausting. There are probably several sources. But first and foremost, it's our students. At the board meeting this past Thursday, we had a chance to really talk about some of the social emotional learning strides that we've been making, and listening to the principals just talk about the resiliency of our students and really following their lead. They always give me tremendous hope. The incredible thinking that goes on and how they approach the world. they've been watching us more than they've been listening these last 2 years. And they've seen us struggle as adults. But I think we should continue to do a great job looking and watching our students, because they have a lot to teach us as well. Nights like this, as I sit back and I look at Dan Sundholm, who I've known since elementary school when he was in elementary at Lake Ridge, and just Andrew and Sophie and these students who are leading the way. But nights like this where you get to really sit back and say, wow, this school district is doing amazing things. We have so much to be hopeful for right now. It has been tough. We have some financial challenges that we're working through, but we've got amazing educators. We've got great leaders. We've got an amazing set of parents and community members who are there to support us. When you pass levies over 70%, you have a community that's invested in students. So I'm incredibly hopeful about the future. I'm excited about it. And we have a lot to look forward to. And just thanks to the two of you for your ongoing support all the way through with your own students, but for tonight and others, just really appreciate it, and all of the donors. So, count me in for that angel status. I'll hit that up.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Not
Thank
even
you.
an ask, but hey, we'll take it.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Fred, thank you.
That, and thank you so much to Tammy and Tima and everyone else in Schools Foundation. Really appreciate it. I'll be continuing watching live here and chiming in on the chat.
Please do. Thank you. That's great to have you on the chat. But we'll let you go for now, at least in person, so you can put your pajamas on.
There you go.
And thank you, Fred. Have a good evening.
All right. Thanks, Fred. Take care, everyone.
Oh, our Lake Ridge principal's all grown up.
I know, right?
I know.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Remember Pirates of Penzance? I remember he was dressed up for that 5th grade musical.
Oh, that's right.
Back in the day. Well, our donors are truly the heart of the foundation. So without this generous community, of course, we wouldn't have like what we've been talking about. The curricula that's amazing, the professional development, the teacher innovation grants.
Right.
Next, we're going to hear from Tom Gallagher, the owner of Gallagher Co-Construction and a parent of 3 children who have gone through this district. Tom is a generous Spring for Schools sponsor this year and a great example of someone who's committed to making sure our schools are the very best that they can be, even after his own children have graduated from here.
As a company here on Mercer Island, we have employees whose kids go to the school system. My 3 kids have all gone through the school system, and we just feel that donating back to the school system that has given our kids so much is the right thing to do. I've got 2 kids that are out in the working world now, doing great things, and I think that the school system here on Mercer Island prepared them for that role really well. My son is at the University of Washington, is doing great, and I think that not only through Mercer Island academics, Mercer Island sports, I think the way they prepared the kids to be inclusive to all the people around them. I just think that the Mercer Island school system prepares these kids to be caring and good people as they leave high school and get into college and then get in the working world. So we're happy to donate, and it's an easy decision.
Amazing.
I love that. Easy decision.
Easy
That's
decision,
awesome.
exactly. Thank you. Easy decision for all of you as well. Scan the QR code above my head. Donate if you haven't yet. We would love to have you join us. We're at a new school.
We are.
Where are we? I
with
guess
the Wolves.
it says right there.
We're in the
with the
Wolves'
Wolves.
den.
Yeah. Andrew, who was an alum, said that the West is best.
West is best, apparently. Yeah, that's
apparently
what they
I
say.
hadn't heard that
appreciate
before, but okay.
I know. Well, and so Principal Megan Isaacson, hello to you if you're able to watch tonight. Love your weekly video updates. I think that's awesome.
Super cool.
It really,
Yeah.
really is neat to kind of get like an inside look and have it on video too.
I know, it's great.
How much fun. It's good entertainment.
We're all living in video now, which is why you guys are riveted to your screens right now. So I'm going to remind you to donate again. Giving monthly is another great way to support our schools, and it's super easy. You can spread your financial impact out over the year. Every size, I said this earlier, every gift size matters, and it all adds up. Any amount, it really. So QR code, misf.com/donate. Any way you want to do it, we would love to have you participate.
Yeah. So of the many amazing things in this district, one that we want to talk about now and really highlight is the science department at Mercer Island High School. And one class in particular taught throughout the years by Jamie Cook is the Biotech Research and Ethics class. And while Jamie is now in the role of instructional coach, the impact on our science program that he's had is phenomenal, the impact on the students. And in this next story, you're going to witness how students are deeply impacted by their education in our schools, how they can become the teachers they're giving back to the kids in that class and in our schools now, and ultimately how this class and this program is shaping their future.
This story is about reconnecting, inspiration to give back, and the students eventually becoming the teacher.
I'm a biochemist by training. I work in a lab here at the University of Washington, and Mercer Island High School provided me with a really rich foundation in the sciences, and really, really amazing instruction and teachers that help motivate me and push me towards, my goals and my dreams.
Mr. Cook connected Sam with me as a mentor for the NWABR Bio Expo.
The Bio Expo is about a 6-month-long project. The students get to pick a topic of their choosing, any biological topic. They write a research paper that's at a high level. They get to work with a science mentor. It's actually required, that collaboration. They incorporate their 21st century skills and communication, show their leadership as they work and collaborate with the science mentor. And they also get to demonstrate their understanding beyond the paper in multiple intelligence they can choose from, such as art, drama, research, creative writing, and a whole bunch of other opportunities.
Mentorship has meant so much to me in my scientific career, and it's helped me to learn how to take ownership of my own scientific projects, and I really wanted to be able to pass that along to someone else.
Sam, right off the bat, he was super willing to help. He came in with all of these supplies and petri dishes with E. coli and worms and everything, just ready to go. And right off the bat, from the very beginning, he was teaching me new techniques, new concepts in biology. He was just ready to teach from the start.
Yeah, my impression of Lewis was that he was highly capable, highly motivated, really excited and innovative guy, and it was just such a pleasure to be able to help him realize his goals and bring out that creativity in him.
Mercer Island and Jamie Cook gave me so many opportunities to learn outside of the classroom as well. After class, he would always let me stay and just fiddle around with my own experiments, look through microscopes, gave me all the chemicals and things I wanted to work with, and it really jump-started my career and my love for biology. And I want to propagate that in the next generation of scientists and the next generation of doctors. The students right now at Mercer Island High School are in such a developmental stage. What we can do for them right now and what we can offer them to learn is just so important in what they're going to do in the future and what they're going to bring to the world.
Students like Sam and Lewis are not unique here at this high school. They have connected with their teachers and the staff here. They have had experiences that allowed them really value what they had learned, and they could see how it was applied in their lives. And later, they want to reconnect with those teachers and say thank you. And often, they'll come back and be able to share some of that with the other students here. It's all about my students. When I see that excitement from what they're learning, or the aha moments, and they realize that a lot of it came from themselves and I just kind of guided them, that's what really brings me joy and passion.
Being able to be on the cutting edge of biology and being able to do experiments that help us to understand the human condition and medicine and possibly be of some help to patients really excites me, and being able to do science that is just really interesting and challenging.
My lab at UW Medicine primarily focuses on COVID research, and actually in the beginning of the pandemic, we were the first lab in the United States to detect community spread. So we were the lab to kind of sound the sirens, so to say, for a COVID response, and kind of just telling the rest of the country that, hey, COVID is spreading. We should be doing something about it. And that kind of frontline civic duty through biology has kind of been one of the most fulfilling aspects, I feel like, of the kind of work that I do.
You know, I don't know how they pulled off looking that good in those lab coats. I don't look that good in a lab coat. Anyway, we really have such a good science program here at the high school. And it is one of my favorite subjects.
Yeah. And in 7th grade, we studied a lot of biology. And as many of you parents know, most of us are still figuring out how to navigate the world around us at that time. But in science class with Ms. Senlikowski, I had such an amazing time studying cell processes and learning how to use microscopes. Thanks to the Mercer Island Schools Foundation, obviously. Learning from a textbook is not nearly as intriguing as learning from the eyeglass of a high-powered microscope.
On another note, don't forget the Spring for Schools auction is open, but it closes tomorrow at 8 p.m. There are so many great items, as talked about earlier, like Seahawks tickets, Husky tickets, a weekend getaway to Suncadia, a year membership at Aquarium. I know Sophie's looking for that one. And you can even learn how to broadcast a show at KMIH, my favorite.
My favorite too. Now, we have some disappointing news, however. Our very favorite, super fantastic, amazing, perfect, incredible auction item has not yet been bidded on. The KMIH Become a Newscaster on KMIH 88.9 The Bridge. So get out your devices and bid on having an awesome VIP experience here at 88.9 The Bridge.
You don't want to miss out on that. A newscast with us sounds perfect. We're pretty funny.
I think so.
And we might even add a pizza or two.
Yeah. And now for our second trivia question, put this in the chat. What is Mercer Island High School's mascot's name? Remember, first to answer gets a prize.
The foundation supports fine arts in our schools every year. From band, orchestra, drama to ceramics, photography, and elementary arts, the foundation gives thanks to our generous community. The foundation has funded guest artists from Jet City Improv. The professional improv teacher offers different games, activities, projects in class to help students develop skills such as thinking on their feet, confidence, creativity, and collaboration. With that,
our improv class has been working hard all year long to put on great productions for our community.
Yes, and
here they are.
Do you know what chemical we're supposed to mix next?
I think it's the pink one. That looks pretty.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No. Redo it. Just take it out. Just pour it into that one. That's making it work. Oh, teacher, no! We're not
fine.
Making it explode.
What's going on here?
Nothing. I promise you. Nope, I'm gonna get an A, right?
I don't think so. Let me
why are
see
my
what you
hands
have.
turning blue?
No,
Why are
no
your hands
reason.
turning blue?
She's fine. She's a freshman. No, I got this.
We only have one freshman in the class.
They won't die. It's fine. Am I gonna die? No.
You are, okay. Let me take you to the eye wash station.
Welcome to the annual spring assembly, and we have our mascot here.
I'm the mascot. This is my one moment. My mom and dad said I'm a
Snails don't talk. Snails do not talk. Okay.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. I'm a snail.
Nope. Okay.
Go snails. Escar, no.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay, I am here in the ASB Office Counselor Center to recommend a new club, okay? The Birds Aren't Real Club. I have a very strong case, okay? There are hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of believers. Actually, not even believers. We know this is a fact. The government is lying. Birds are not real. They are secretly robots that are flying in the sky, okay? And I have proof for that. That's why you should make us a club. Yes.
You know, someone came in earlier wanting to make the Earth is Flat Club, and it was approved, so I guess we could approve yours.
Okay, good. Okay, now where is our classroom gonna be?
Don't touch me.
Freeze.
What's up, man? You ready for basketball tryouts today, bro? I've been balling out in the gym all week. I'm ready for this, bro. Working on that jump shot.
Yeah, I'll play defense on you, man.
Oh, yeah? You can't score on me. What? That's a foul.
Yeah.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early?
Yeah, keep your hand on your heart, bro.
Sorry, I wasn't ready.
What so proudly we held.
It's up there, man.
My bad.
Dodgeball, baby. Oh, you're here again, little kindergartner. It's back. It's Chad. Woo. You come to challenge me again with your little noodle arms?
Kevin will get you.
Kevin? Who's Kevin?
You looking for me?
Thank you, Mercer Island Schools Foundation.
All right. Well, so I
Awesome
think
video.
we know who's going to be the next host next year.
You
Like
got
that
it.
class right there.
Absolutely.
Man. All
Yes. Hey, here we are.
Do you
Welcome
recognize where
to
we are with the bright yellow?
Northwood.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the fancy school. It's awesome. It's great. The Northwood Owls. Yeah, it was our new school built in 2016, right?
Well, yeah, opened in 2016,
Yeah,
I think.
I guess
Pretty
it
big
was
deal.
built-
Beautiful.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Big yellow chair. That's kind of a fun one for
Yeah.
everyone to take turns sitting in.
Yeah.
Time to donate, folks. Thank you to everyone who's made a gift. Obviously, there's still time. Please also remember the auction. Still going on. We talked about like the vacations. There's also amazing artwork. There are really cool cookies. Floral bouquet for the summer. There's all kinds of different stuff. So please go on the auction and check it out. You know, amazing, generous donations. So it's great to get people bidding on that.
Totally. So tonight we are going to, the Mercer Island School District presents its annual sixth annual Pathfinder Awards. The Pathfinder Award is the district's highest alumni honor, presented to graduates of Mercer Island High School whose achievements, strength of character, and citizenship inspire and challenge today's youth to make significant contributions to humankind. 20 MIHS alumni have been recognized since the awards were established in 2016, and their plaques now fill the Pathfinder wall at the high school, so go check it out. It's super cool. Our first Pathfinder recipient for this year is Matt Galvin from Mercer Island High School class of 1987. Matt has co-owned Pagliacci Pizza since 1999. Thank you for building such a beautiful store on our island, and for adding
Feeding
10
my family.
pounds to my waistline.
Thank you for feeding my family.
Yeah, exactly. His commitment to supporting local communities to make them better places for all is evident in his leadership of Pagliacci, which has become the third largest purchaser of green power in all of Seattle under his leadership. Pagliacci was also the first restaurant chain to compost and the first to build a LEED-certified pizzeria. So cool. Matt was part of the leadership group of Earth Day Northwest 2020 and eliminated single-use plastics in all of his stores. Thank you. Since 2006, Matt has helped feed 180 people a day through St. James Cathedral Kitchen. Not only does he donate pizzas, but he also chairs the Soup Kitchen fundraiser committee. Additionally, Pagliacci supports Operation Sack Lunch to provide meals to those struggling with hunger. Matt is a super person. He's a Superman. Matt is on the board of the Third Door Coalition, an organization focused on ending chronic homelessness through permanent supportive housing. Matt is a deserving recipient, that is an understatement, based on his achievements, his strength of character, and his citizenship to inspire and challenge today's youth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. So our second Pathfinder Award is Kirk Robinson from Mercer Island's high school class of 1995. K-Rob, as he was affectionately known, was a problem solver and a community helper who, as a lot of people know, unfortunately passed away from cancer after a very courageous battle with it. In 2019, I guess it's hard to believe it's been a few years, Kirk joined the Mercer Island Auxiliary Firefighting Force in 1999, was an EMT in Mercer Island's Marine Patrol, and also joined Bothel's Fire Department. He was a go-to guy for many in the Mercer Island community and the Bothell Fire Department community. You could find him helping put holiday lights on neighbors' houses, helping organize a community 4th of July picnic. And even though he was in the late stages of cancer, he was doing all that still, including working with his church to help build houses in Mexico. That's how our family actually personally got to know him. And as one of my sons described him as someone who had an amazing ability to connect with anybody. So a lot of people are very personally touched by his work. For all of us, his incredible work serves as an example to young people and adults. He showed that dedicating oneself to others is integral to a community actually being able to thrive like ours does.
Gosh, growing up on Mercer Island's been just an incredible experience for me. I've been so blessed to have so many people in my corner rooting for me over the years. Of course, my parents, but most notably educators and parents in the neighborhood that were always looking out for many of us. And just really blessed that people encouraged me to do more, kind of exceed what I even thought I was possible for myself, quite honestly. And just been really blessed that we're able to kind of do more and take advantage of the opportunities that were afforded me. As being kind of a part of Mercer Island, but knowing that there's a bigger world out there and that we're part of it and exploring that, but also coming back and seeing that we have this great business in Seattle, and I feel like I'm a steward of the Pagliacci brand, but knowing that, I really feel good about the fact that we're trying to do more for our community, and just blessed to be part of it and happy to have raised our 4 kids on Mercer Island as well. I feel there's so many great recipients of this award, and I'm honored to be part of what this award means. At the same time, there's probably more than a few people like, oh my gosh, you're doing this. So just feel really honored to be part of it, and maybe this is something my mom will be super proud of. I know that, and at the same time, my kids will probably think that I'm doing something. So it's great. Thank you.
Here we are at Lake Ridge, the elementary school that Kirk started at, and was so happy to meet his lifelong friends here. He loved the community so much, he was adamant to bring his family here for his boys to experience the same community and lifelong friendships that he did. There were so many outlets for him to experience and make friends in different aspects, such as music, sports, church, and Cub Scouts. The Pathfinder Award means so much to our family. It shows that the community appreciated Kirk as much as he loved the community here. It especially means a lot to our boys. It shows them the time that he spent away from the family, helping other people was appreciated and well worth his time. Thank you all so much for the Pathfinder Award. Kirk would have loved to know that everyone appreciated him, and our family appreciates it too. Thank you.
Wow,
Thanks
so
to you.
great. Yeah.
Thanks to the family.
We've got some
Robinson
amazing
family.
people on this island.
Yep.
So it's really nice to hear. So we're celebrating 40 years of giving. Kind of hard to believe, right?
Yep.
And in 1981-82 school year, parents and community leaders had a dream. They had a vision of enrich opportunities for students and teachers through a privately funded organization. And due to their diligent efforts of these volunteers, the Mercer Island Schools Foundation was formed. The foundation has become the catalyst for the Mercer Island community to guarantee every teacher has access to the most up-to-date, innovative educational materials that guarantee exceptional teaching and learning experiences for every student. The tremendous success of the organization lies in the simple fact that the foundation was born in a community that places value on quality education. I am particularly excited for this next video and finally meet the two guys, the two founders who started it all, Bob Klein and Richard Weinman, the foundation founders. Take a look.
Can you believe it's been 40 years?
Wow, no.
You and I had many conversations about school funding and about the fact that Mercer Island should be allowed to spend as much as they want on public schools if they're willing to pay for it. But that was not state law. And I had been complaining enough that a friend of mine mentioned that there was going to be a committee to look at alternative funding.
We researched about 7 different options for supplementing school district funding and evaluated them all, and the idea of a schools foundation and raising money voluntarily within the community seemed like a really good option. So we had this good idea, and we kind of looked at each other and said, let's form a foundation.
Let's form a foundation.
So there we were, ready to raise money.
And we got a post office box.
We got a post office box, and I think it's the same post office box the foundation is still using.
So we wrote up a postcard, sent it out. It wasn't very professional. And
No.
we raised less than $10,000, but still there was significant interest.
And at that point,
I came home from a vacation. I received a phone call from a woman named Diane Goodwin, now Diane Shavy. And she said, boys, you need some help.
we were boys then.
You need some help. I am a professional fundraiser. I have done a lot of work for Stanford. And let's have a meeting. She is an unsung hero of the foundation.
One important criteria for us was to remain and to appear independent from the school district.
Some of the things that we were hearing were from various department heads that, well, we need new textbooks for this program. Those were purchased with foundation funds. We heard a number of teachers, especially some of the librarians, saying, look, we're behind in computer science. We have no computer education for the students, and we would love some computers. And that year, I can't remember the exact number, but we bought at least 6 to 8 Apple IIes and got the computer science education off the ground. So I learned recently that the foundation that you and I started has raised over $20 million in the 40 years that it's been in existence.
Amazing.
And this from two friends starting something, I feel it's one of my best accomplishments in my life.
One of the ways that we originally met was through our kids. Our daughters were, I don't know, they would have been in third grade,
second,
fourth
third grade,
something like that. They were actually in the same class. And now we both have grandkids still
I've got
in
two
the school
grandsons
district.
in the system.
And my daughter is a teacher in the school district. And yeah, I think we accomplished, we started something that's really been valuable to the community.
I think there's nothing more important than public education.
Yeah.
It really is so amazing to see and hear about the beginnings of the foundation, especially for us students. We appreciate all the opportunities that the foundation give to us, so thank you again.
And now for our third and final trivia question. After whom is Mercer Island named? Don't forget to put your answer in the chat.
This grant funded a guest artist in residence at Mercer Island High School for clinics with the jazz band students, following by a joint evening performance at Jazz Alley in Seattle. Exposure and the opportunity to play with professional musicians are inspirational for all of our students.
Yeah. So when I was in middle school and elementary school, I was able to be a part of the band program, though I didn't exceed to the level that many of our high school students did now. But I really loved the band program and was so lucky to be able to be a part of it. And what I really loved about it was my teachers, really. So Mr. Bentley and Mr. Thompson, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And this grant has allowed jazz students to play with professional musicians, which has been so cool and so inspiring for those students. And at our school, there's a lot of excitement around band, especially on football game days, spirit days. It's awesome. It's a huge part of our school's community at the high
Favorite
school.
part of my assemblies, or of the assemblies, is when the band starts playing. Everyone gets going when the band starts playing.
Yeah, it's really special. And now, before we introduce the band, we have prepared a quick number for you all.
Sorry in advance.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That's it. Thank you. With that, let's give it to the real professionals. This is the Bell Canto Choir and Orchestra performing Flander Fields.
Between
All right. Who can recognize this? It's funny, we're not showing the building,
Yeah, we're not
but
showing
we
the building.
know where
are
we
we?
are.
Think for you people that have been there a long time, there used to be ships. It is Lake
Yeah,
Ridge.
right, Lake Ridge. Lake Ridge
It's
Lions.
where it started for our family and yours,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. We got Principal Heidi Christensen, who, thank you, has been super active in the chat, and Associate Principal Jill Kelly.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
great.
We love our Lions.
Love
Thank
our Lions.
you.
Yep. Well, here on the fort at the south end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't forget, make your spring schools for gift.
Yes.
So easy. QR code above my head.
Yep.
And don't go online after the show to misf.com/donate, and as well as the auction. And everybody hang in there. We're running a little long, but the show's just going to continue to be amazing.
Yeah.
So stick with us and on with the show.
Absolutely. So one more program at least we have to talk about is literature, and how important it is to have books and novels that expose kids to a diverse array of books in our schools. They allow kids to learn about different backgrounds, different challenges and identities. Kind of allows everybody to live in someone else's shoes for a little while. The experience fosters a sense of understanding and compassion for others, and stories create a sense of belonging and validation. Right. So thank you to you guys all for your support. Because of that, the Foundation's been able to support many books and novels. Mm-hmm. So let's take a look and listen to the impact that has had.
These may seem like small things or things that you never really think about, but they matter in big ways.
If you do not know there are things you do not see, it said, then you will not see them because you do not expect them to be there.
When I moved here to America, I was afraid nobody wants to be my friend. I come from a different place, much, much different.
So it's really important for students to be able to see and celebrate differences, and also to be able to feel affirmed in who they are, in their identity.
There is one short page and just a little bit of the text. Read it with your group.
These particular books that I'm using kind of to spark conversations. So I choose specific books that might be around a social topic that just kind of are a starting point to kind of go from there in terms of a class discussion around a particular issue or topic.
Something that Rudine Sims Bishop says, she's an author and educator and has coined the phrase mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors. She said that mirrors are important for children, and so when we look at books, they are really offering students the opportunity to see themselves, which serves as a mirror, or they could read about someone else's identity and it's different from theirs, but that's like looking through a window. And then finally, what we hope for all of our kids is that they have the opportunity to see a book, read a book, and use a sliding glass door where they're really moving into empathy and compassion to make change in the world.
I really love this book because of how much representation it has, as well as how when the main character is signing, because she's selectively mute, they put it in italics rather than quotation marks, which I thought was a really cool detail.
It's not all about, like, the big things. Like, if I was in a game and I did something small, I sometimes get credited with it. It's kind of like, it's like a very small detail, but those details have to lead up to big things.
I remember reading this book with my mom and reading it in class, and we were so excited because there were lots of terms that I kept asking her about, like fresh off the boat, or what it was like to be an ABC, and my mom was so happy that she started giving me all these fun stories from her childhood, and so it was like a little bonding experience for us.
Books and novels are decided on through a process, and first the teachers bring on board whatever the books are, then it goes through the parent community, the adoption materials committee, and then it gets approved by the school board.
When we think about adding in new books and novels or any text, we think about a need that our students have. So that could be representation, it could be a thematic need, but we want to focus on what our students would most benefit from, and we take a look at, say, freshman and sophomore year with coming of age or kind of an exploration of cultures, and we look for a gap that the students would respond well to, and we try to fill that with the text that we choose.
I'm educating, people who are going to be the future, and so, my passion is kind of creating, a community in my classroom, but also teaching and giving students practice in community out in the real world, and what does that look like in terms of being able to practice empathy, understand one another, and take care of each other.
The open door welcomes the refugees, and now at least there is no need to roam.
I learned the importance of cultural identity and how that contributes to your actual identity, and sort of how much people sometimes like to bottle it up and sort of act like their culture isn't a part of them. But like the book sort of gave me this idea that you should be proud of where you're from.
A lot of times, because of different aspects of our identity, if there's an issue we're not looking for because we don't experience it, we won't see it. So I thought that was really a really good insight.
I love what I do because I love to teach and I love to make connections with students, but I love especially teaching English because we can help our students see the world beyond themselves through the text that we read, and we are not always tied to skills that they have to learn. We can teach the skills that the students need while expanding their worldview, showing them experiences that are not like their own, but also representing for students who are not always represented in our classrooms.
Wow, I really like that video. It really showcases kind of the amazing kind of work that goes into the materials and the programs for our kids.
The impact
and
of
the
books.
impact, yeah.
Just one single book, the impact it can have on you, let alone like
Absolutely.
a whole collection of them.
Right.
So, hey, look where we are. It's like sundown.
High school,
At the high school.
exactly.
Yeah, love the band formation there.
Totally.
Shout out to our, I think the newest
I think it's the newest
principal
principal
in
in
the
the
district, Walter Kelly, who hailed from Texas.
Texas,
Been
yep.
great to
and-
have him at the high school.
Totally, and I think we were ranked again among the best high schools in the nation by U.S. News.
Yep.
So
Yep, point of pride for sure.
it's a point of pride.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Yep.
So I gotta give you guys, we're here to donate tonight. So a reminder to give. Spread out your financial impact if that's an easier way to do it. You can do it over, a period of months. You've got kind of a chart right there that gives you an idea. If you have stock, that's another good way to donate. You can contact the foundation for details on that if you'd like some more information. If you give $1,000 or more, again, it's going to be matched by the Angel Fund. So, you're doubling your impact right there. You can send a check. You can use the QR code, go online. And just a reminder that it's not just a cliche. Every gift matters.
Absolutely. Speaking of donors, we have two more community members who want to share how they feel, why it's important for all of us to support the schools. In this next video, you'll hear from the Kong Yang family and also the Dorosky family. They are an inspiration to all of us to do our part to make sure every student has the ability to reach their full potential. Take a look.
Yeah, we really like here. It has great communities and schools, and the kids really enjoying their school lives. So I think with support our donation, we can let more kids have access to more sports games and music teams, so which is a good way to help them develop their confidence to meet the challenges, to cope with other people and other people's skills, which are quite important in the near future. So I think donation is a kind of investment to our next generation. Yeah, I hope more and more parents can get involved in it to help our communities and schools better places.
Yeah, we moved here around 6 years ago, and then with the great reputation that Mercer Island schools, great for children. So this is really as advertised, I would say. So we really experienced that, and then as we know more, so it's actually, it's actually those kind of generous community donations. I think is a bigger part of it to make it really helpful. I think the government money is probably only a small portion of it, but really we see our kids, so they have a lot of, let's say, materials and then kind of activities, and then all of those I think made possible for, let's say, the great work by the foundations as well as the community support. So I think we are feel really great that we are surrounded by this great set of people, and then we would like to do our part, and then I hope everybody can do their part as well.
Well, we want to support the Mercer Island community, and we feel like investing in our community and especially, obviously, investing in our kids is beneficial to everyone, not just people in your own family. And we feel that we are an island that is, or a community that is rich in resources, and I can't think of any reasons why you wouldn't want to support, obviously, your children, but the community at large, because it benefits everybody if we kind of start at the bottom and work our way up. And from kindergarten through high school, we can help these kids at every step of the way. So we're happy to do that. We have the resources, and we feel privileged to be able to do that.
I've been thinking about COVID as well and just the tremendous costs that it's put on the school district. And there's been funds to support those COVID dollars, but Mercer Island has received less than a tenth of what the average school in Washington State has received. And without the support of the foundation and the generous support of the community, the money that would be going to fund student academic enrichment is instead needed for essential services. And it's our responsibility, and the foundation helps to reduce that gap and close that gap.
Once again, thank you so much to our donors, and Andrew and I have got our true Mercer Island spirit back on.
Well, mine's a little lopsided. With that, we are now going to announce the winners of trivia this evening.
Right. So our first question was, when did Mercer Island Junior High change its name to Islander Middle School? And the answer is 1982. The winner of this first challenge is Cindy Pacheca. Congrats.
Our second question was, what is the Mercer Island High School mascot's name? The answer is Herbert the Snail, and that winner is David Benson. Sophie, I think I know who Herbert is.
And our third and final question is, after whom is Mercer Island named? It was named after Thomas Mercer. Jill Ashton won this one. Thomas Mercer was a pioneer associated with the early history of Seattle. He also suggested the names of Lake Washington as well as Lake Union. Winners, Cindy Pacheca, David Benson, and Jill Ashton, the foundation will be in touch with you for your prizes. We've got some super awesome gift cards for you.
The more you know. I just want to thank Dr. Rundle one more time and just share the relationship I've had with Dr. Rundle this past year. Being a representative on the school board, I've had a lot of opportunities to work with Dr. Rundle and a lot of meetings, probably more than both of us want to be in. I know that he will continue with Superintendent Kolosky's mission on expanding student voices in the district. I can't wait to continue our work next year, Dr. Rundle. Once again, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew and Sophie. It has been so nice to not have to co-host this whole thing, so thank you. Okay, so we are at the final part of our program. Thanks for sticking with us. I know we're going a little long. I hope you've enjoyed the presentations as much as I have today, and it's really a testament to the amazing accomplishments that Mercer Island has achieved in education. And it's a rallying call for all of us to continue to lead the future of public education for our children and our community. It's no revelation that the past 2 years have been particularly challenging for all of us. Before the pandemic, education was already underfunded, our teachers were already under-resourced, and our students were already under enormous pressures. With the pandemic, a mental health crisis among America's students has gotten so much worse, and it directly impacts our children here on the island. With a massive economic hit to our economy and the city and district budgets, the school districts had to make some difficult choices that, frankly, were inconceivable just 10 years ago. You layer on top of that a chilled wind of greater divisiveness in our country that has eroded civil discourse at times and community collaboration, and you wouldn't be wrong in thinking there's a lot of need out there. But, as our new superintendent, Dr. Rundle, expressed, there is so much hope for an even better, brighter future if we all work together, support the truly amazing educators and administrators that we collectively have all invested in, and show individual leadership as a unified community. We are so blessed to be a part of this special island. Our individual ideas, perspectives, and issues are always important to public discourse. But we also need, in parallel, to rise above our individual opinions and invest in the one thing that has consistently paid off for 40 years, our schools, our educators, and most importantly, our students. So let's do something about it tonight. The Spring for Schools ask is typically $500 per student. And, you know, if you go to Starbucks 2 to 3 times a week, your latte budget, it's right there. And if it's Lafette, it's double your latte budget. I'm challenging you to go beyond that. If you are going to write a check for $250, write it for $500. If you're going to do $500, do it for $1,000 and let our amazing angels match your gift, dollar for dollar. If you're privileged to be in a position to make a leadership contribution, call Tammy Shoup, our executive director. She's amazing, and she'd love to talk to you about how you can make a lasting impact. Go, Tammy. This year is the year to dig in deep. We have a lot of need, and this is when you need to prioritize our most important shared mission as a community, and it's the education of our children. This is when we, as community leaders and engaged citizens, need to step up and support the shared values we all hold for an exceptional public education. This is when we need to engage all of our neighbors, our friends, businesses, churches, organizations. Join us in getting us to our goal of $800,000. Let's help our great leaders and teachers continue to prepare our students to take on the challenges and opportunities for a better future. On behalf of the Mercer Island Schools Foundation, thank you so much for your support and participation. Thank you, Donna, for your leadership as superintendent. We're really going to miss you. Thank you, Tammy Shoup, and everybody that's been involved in tonight. And I'd like to bring my co-host back out here. Come on, guys. Great job, great job. This was so much fun. Yeah, thank you, you guys. This is we've had quite a showcase of this whole thing.
So it's only going to be successful, though, if people actually donate.
Yes.
That's what we really need. Tell your friends, tell everybody, even if they couldn't watch tonight, please make sure to donate.
And tell them that the auction wraps up tomorrow at 8 p.m.
That's right.
So make sure you bid on some incredible items. You know, that parking spot one? I might have to go home and do that. Parking is tough.
Radio station.
Yeah.
Donate on the radio station
On the
one.
radio
It's going to be
station.
awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Hillary, what do you think? We've got $800,000 to raise.
I
Let's
think
go.
I kind of gave it away before, too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so sorry, guys. Our goal is $800,000. So I don't know where we're at right now exactly, but
I don't know. There's been a lot
I
of money
haven't
coming
seen-
in.
I don't
know
think I
Tammy's
see an
been keeping
update.
track.
Tammy Shoup's keeping track.
$350. Woohoo! All right.
There we go.
We
All
got
right,
more to
so
go.
That
Thank you.
That's awesome, you guys. We have a lot.
We got
have
to
a lot
do.
more to go.
Yeah, we
so
do.
come on,
Yeah.
turn it on. Turn on that spigot there.
Yeah.
Totally.
So thank you again to every teacher, student, instructional coach, and administrator who has been a part of this video, and to the Mercer Island Schools Foundation for all that you do for our students and our schools. And also, Mr. Puhala, if you're listening, maybe I don't have to take the quiz tomorrow. Dr. Rundle, help me out here.
Come on, Dr. Rundle. Help her out. Let's go.
Right? Yeah.
Free
All right,
pass.
everybody. Thank you for staying long. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is all we have for you, and we will see you on the rock.
Thank you.
Love Easy on Heart.
This is another one of the large American bands that have come up here to be a part of the parade. They're just at the south end of Lake Washington. Of course, linked to Seattle by a floating bridge.
That is a huge group. That is a massive band.
You know, you talked about, organization and getting people, to the bottom of their gear and their instruments because they've got them all.